guys, it's Tommy Baby again from TommyBaby.com. Today's video, we thought we'd discuss a little bit about our personal relationship. And we started off as a long-distance relationship couple. I guess that makes sense that way.
Yep, she's originally from Toronto, Ontario, and I'm from Central Pennsylvania. So it's a good bit of distance. It's probably about almost 8-hour drive, actually.
Which is what we were doing. He was driving, and in the beginning I was flying.
Yeah.
Which obviously flying and driving is a lot of money back and forth.
I know. The very first time I took the drive, I actually rented a car because I was just worried about putting that much time and mileage on my current car that I had at the time. So I rented a car and made the 8-hour drive for the first time. It was really long.
That was for my birthday, right?
Yeah, for your birthday. Yeah. I surprised her actually.
Yeah.
I arranged it with her two sisters, and
well, you've never talked to before either,
yeah.
So that was creepy.
I talked to them like for the very first time on Facebook, and arranged this surprise meetup for her birthday, and I made the drive up there, and she didn't know I was coming, and it was a great surprise.
Yeah, it was.
That was actually the second time that we met.
That was the second time, yes. Yeah. The first time we met in New York. Yeah. So I guess what we're going to be talking about in this video is just kind of helping other couples with things that we thought were very important in our relationship, especially factoring in the distance, because that's not an easy part at all. I guess the main thing that's important, just like in any other relationship, this one is not really just for long distance, it's communication. And I think it's even more important in a long distance because you're not really seeing each other as often as you would. So making sure to be in contact with one another throughout the day, letting each other know how the day was going and what we were doing, and just keeping those lines of communication open was really important on both ends, actually.
Yeah, I know when we first started talking, I used to call her on my cell phone, and I tell you what, my cell phone bills were $300-400 sometimes because of the long distance, and we definitely had to find alternative ways of communicating, because we both felt that communication was very important in order to make the relationship work. So we started looking into other options, like Skype was a really great communication method for us.
Skype wasn't even that big then. This was 4 years ago now.
Yeah, we stumbled across Skype and it was like, oh, this is fantastic.
It's gonna save us money.
Yeah, absolutely. Another big thing that also helped was Google Voice. Google Voice allowed me to actually make calls international to Canada with no fee. So that was also it's usually not this loud around here, so we apologize about that. Hopefully there's no more coming by. But yeah, so getting back on topic, communication is very important. Google Voice, Skype, and later on towards the end of whenever she was still in Toronto, another good thing that helped us was FaceTime.
Second one.
It's from another angle actually over there. So yeah, so FaceTime was another great method of communication for us. We got to see each other through FaceTime, we got to talk, and it just saved us a lot of money as well.
Yeah, I think for couples now, Skype is still pretty big. I think especially more internationally than within North America. But obviously people have iPhones in other countries too.
Yeah.
But just that's obviously it's free. So other things. Another thing that we used to do was, since we couldn't have proper date nights or going out to dates, and even in the beginning of our relationship, obviously that's important. So what we used to do was we would have date night movie nights. So we would both start watching a movie together at the same time, and we would either be on Skype, or usually we were on Skype, just kind of still talking to each other, and it was kind of watching the movie together, but not really together.
As cheesy as it sounded, it gave us something to do since we couldn't see each other all the time. I think also there's setting some rules when you first start dating is very important also. And I'm not talking about rules about hanging out with people or anything like that. We're talking about
those are important too, but I mean
specifically we were talking about making sure that we at least got to see each other once a month. And that was tough too, because we both had really busy schedules, and to make that maybe 4 or 5 day vacation every single month was really tough.
Calling off for work.
Calling off for work. She worked, I worked. Our schedules were kind of like mismatched. School or shooting weddings and stuff like that. That stuff definitely took a lot of time, and taking a vacation every week was definitely tough to schedule. But we made it work. There was times that we might have not seen each other for maybe a month and a half. But we made it sure that as soon as we had the availability, that one of us would make the trip.
I think that was probably like the most important decision we made, because knowing that you're gonna get through like this 3 weeks without seeing each other, and it's like so dreadful because it's the beginning of the relationship, and you like want to get to know each other a little bit more, and you don't know what that other person is doing. So that knowing that once a month we were gonna get to see each other was kind of like, all right, we got to get through these first 3 weeks, and then I know that in the month we're gonna be together even for 2-3 days, and which was even more difficult for you because you had to do the drive.
Yeah.
So it was like you drive for 8 hours and then stay like the Saturday or the Sunday, and then leave like Sunday night to get here on Monday.
Yeah.
So
it was 16 hours driving over the weekend.
Difficult.
Was pretty tough. Put a lot of miles in the car. It cost a lot of money, but at the end of it, it was all worth it. Towards the we actually dated for almost 3 years, doing long distance. That's a long time. Seeing each other maybe for a week and a month. So that was 3 years of that. Towards the end of the 3 years, we actually started doing Megabus, which at the beginning of Megabus, they were really cheap. Sometimes $5-10, round trip sometimes. And that was a great, money saver. It allowed me to relax in the bus, and you don't have to sit there and constantly, drive and
At
stuff
the
like that.
beginning, it was a little bit difficult because Tom is from a small city, so it's not that, it wasn't like going Toronto to New York where you'll always have buses. It was like I would have to go to Philly, and then you'd either come and pick me up in Philly, so...
Yeah, and then eventually they actually offered a bus that came to my town, which was
shocking.
Shocking,
I'm like, does anybody else do this trip with me? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even think there would be anybody else.
So that was awesome. We did that for a while, and then the rates started going up, which still was a lot cheaper than actually driving. And then probably about 6 or 7 months ago, she actually decided to move down here, and that's something we can get to in a little bit. But some of the other tips we have for you is that helped us in our relationship is if we're taking a vacation or some type of business trip or something somewhere, if she comes down to New York, for example, I make sure that I try to meet her there, because I think twice she had to go to New York for something, maybe family or friend related, and that's when I decided, I was like, oh well, you're only 2.5 hours away from me. I'm gonna go ahead and drive up to New York.
It's a much shorter trip.
Yeah, it's a much shorter trip than driving to Toronto. So that was also important for us as well. And I don't know, what else do we have?
I think just being able to trust each other.
Yeah.
Was really important.
Trust is huge.
Like I said, it's obviously in any relationship, trust needs to be developed slowly, and but in a long distance, it was like you almost felt that you really had no clue what this person was doing for the rest of the time. So communication was the one that actually helped with the trust, because being on the phone and talking about this is how the day was going, and it took us a while to kind of develop the rules that this was an exclusive relationship and there wasn't other parties involved and things like that. But I mean, obviously it happens gradually as with anything else. So yeah, and then when we got to the point that we knew after, I would say probably about maybe 6 months or so,
6 months.
that we were like, okay, we know that
Serious relationship.
Yeah, this is a serious relationship, and we know we don't want to be doing the long distance forever. We kind of had to drag it out,
we set
as much as
ourselves
we
some
could.
goals.
Yeah, in terms of like the end goal was that we were going to be together either here or in Toronto or somewhere in the middle or somewhere where we could be both together. And it doesn't matter which one of us moved down. For our relationship, it worked best that I moved here. But I mean, as long as you get that situated in terms of
make those goals real early on, because we decided, like you said, 6 months that we know this is going to be serious. We really worked well together, and so it took a little while, like we said, 3 years is a long time, but eventually she moved down here, and things got a lot better. So the long distance thing isn't so tough. Take care of some neighbors just waving by. So I mean, I think that's really, I think that's it. That's what really helped our long distance relationship.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more that we can go on about, but this is getting pretty long, so we gotta.
Yeah.
keep
So
it
I
short.
guess we're not in a long distance relationship anymore.
No,
But
yeah. So it did work. We definitely made it work, and now we're together. And we actually, I don't know if you know the backstory, but Katie was a wedding photographer in Toronto, and I'm a wedding photographer here in Central Pennsylvania. So it's we actually met through photography, and I'm sure that's a whole other video on how we met. You definitely check out more information about us that's coming up soon, and now we actually have our businesses combined, and it's been really great. So we're excited. We're excited for our future. And,
So,
just getting kickstarted too. So everything's new.
yeah. So I hope we helped a little bit if anybody else is in the same situation, and just sharing a little bit of our story. So we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yep. I think Katie might be doing tomorrow's video. I'm not sure. I work a Monday through Friday type job, and today I'm off though, and so maybe I'll start vlogging from work. I don't know. Maybe I'll pull out the iPhone. The video quality might not be as good, but at least we'll get our vlogs in. And so check back tomorrow because we'll have another video for you.
Thanks for watching.
Take care. Bye bye.